Hi, Lisa Barlow.
Hi, Brice.
All right, we are at Hash Kitchen, your stomping grounds.
My stomping grounds.
With some baby gorgeouses. That's what these cocktails are called.
They're so good, the baby gorgeous.
Well, cheers to you. So anytime you want to get out of answering a question, you can just take a sip.
I will do this. I might be sipping a lot. Depends on what the questions are.
We'll judge by the end how much you needed it.
If I need a driver.
Yes. Yeah, because you rolled up in the G-Wagon.
It
was not repossessed.
No, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. In fact, it sits right next to my new 2025 Porsche in the garage.
I want to walk through the end of season 4 and kind of how the stage was set going into season 5.
Because your ass just got caught running a cyberbully account while you're working for a f***ing film. You're a f***ing dumb bitch. Ever fucking call me that.
Monica has pinpointed you and Heather as the two responsible for her no longer having a place in this group. Is that fair of her to say?
No, it's not fair. If I had that much control, my edit would be amazing. Like I would be like the hero every single season.
Is there any world in which you would welcome her back into this fold?
I mean, she can go into anybody else's world. I don't see where she's like a main character in my space, because I feel like instead of like trying to fix things, heal things, apologize for the things she did, I feel like she doubled down. And I mean, it's like she's obsessed with me and Heather. She can't stop talking about us.
Which betrayal do you think taught you more about friendship in this group, Monica's or Jen's?
Monica's. I feel like Jen, you know, as toxic as Jen's behavior could be, I feel like Monica pretended to be something she wasn't in every capacity. And I feel like the fact that she could like be nice to our faces while saying the worst things behind our backs, like detrimental things, perpetuating lies, I feel like you have to be extra devious to do that.
Okay, that's, one of these people is in prison, so
Yeah.
that's bold.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. And I feel like she was along the ride. Like she wants to pretend to be this hero in this situation where she's like, oh my gosh, I helped expose Jen. She did not. She was volunteering to be a witness. She was never called by them to be a witness. She was calling them to volunteer to be a witness when she didn't get what she wanted from Jen. It's devious.
Do you see a world where Jen Shah gets out of prison and comes back with her snowflake?
I mean, anything can happen. Like anything can happen. I mean, I feel like she did so much damage, it would be a liability, but I mean, I'm not the one that makes those decisions.
Yeah, once again.
She did tell me and Meredith that she would love to reconnect with us when she's out of prison.
Are you open to that?
I mean, I'm open to anything, but
Okay.
I mean, it's Jen's paying for her crimes.
Yeah, and there's also a
So-
few years before that day comes.
Yes, and
All
they
right.
keep getting smaller. They keep taking off time.
Tequila is my livelihood, and my lifestyle is always top shelf.
Season 5, I feel like we have an activated Lisa Barlow. You are having to fight a lot of fights.
I'm having to fight a lot of fights. Like, I think everybody knows from seasons past, I hate being lied about, and it feels like it's like nonstop.
And you f***ing said I f***ing slept with somebody I didn't f***ing sleep with.
Who just hear that?
Did you go in having an idea that you would have to fight so many fights, or did it
No.
surprise you?
No, it surprised me because I feel like I'm not doing anything, but I'm accused of doing these things. It felt like season 1 on like steroids all over again.
You went on a podcast and bashed me.
You're upset that I didn't speak
You
roses
lied
about
about
you on the
me.
podcast.
You lied about me to disparage my character. That bothered me.
You started with you airing your grievances about Whitney to her face. Meredith and Heather joined in. Whitney viewed it as premeditated, as if the three of you got together, plotted this, we're like, we're just gonna go after Whitney. Did that happen?
That did not happen. In fact, it's the exact opposite. I feel like we've all given Whitney grace. I feel like we're like, oh, it's just Whitney. That's another Whitney move, and we've all given her grace, but she's done things individually that have hurt all of us. When she said she's not a liar, I think that was like a big trigger for Heather and Meredith, because it's like, no, you are a liar because you lie, you perpetuate lies, you repeat lies, that makes you a liar.
She is adamant that she's not a liar and doesn't feel like what
I
you
mean-
brought to her count as lies. Is it a game of semantics because she's not the originator of these untruths, that she's not lying?
No, but I mean, she likes to say they're my feelings, so if I say my feeling is that Whitney's a liar, does that make it like more valuable? Like she's always goes back to her feelings. I mean, like I could say a lot of feelings I have about Whitney. It doesn't make them facts, but she repeats her feelings as facts, and I think that's what makes it a problem. And she's on this like huge campaign to like clear her name. You lie, we can prove you lie. I never say things I can't back up, and Whitney's a liar. It doesn't matter what she says, like she's lying more by saying she's not a liar.
So what are your feelings about Whitney right now?
I mean, I feel the exact same. I think Whitney's a liar. She goes the entire season making up things about me. By the time we get to the end, she's making up things about my husband, and that's where I draw the line. It's like 3 strikes and you're out. You've done this one time too many.
She accuses you of planting what she says is false information about her jewelry business, that you're the architect of some internet drama.
Here she goes. She's lying about me yet again.
I didn't realize that it was somebody that you're close to who was putting this information out. And then I said, does this person have a liquor brand? And they said, yes. And I was like, oh my God.
No one in my friend group has a liquor brand besides Lisa Barlow.
She gets this idea in her head that I had to be the one to do something that I did not do. I mean, the last thing I would think is I would be accused. I was like the first one to buy a piece of jewelry from her. When she launched the brand, I did a full bar. Those are thousands of dollars that cost me to support her. Why would I try and sabotage her?
You can sip or spill on this one. Did you
Okay.
purposefully leave behind the Prism necklace in Milwaukee?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did not.
She gave me the biggest F you ever.
They found a little box. It was a real cream-colored box with a gold necklace.
Does it say Prism on the box?
Yes,
What room was it in?
406.
As Lisa Barlow's.
We thought we were gonna miss our flight, so I was rushing and left it behind. Somebody else threw theirs in the garbage.
Oh, so that is, the
Yes.
one in the garbage is not yours.
The one in the garbage is not mine.
Interesting.
Yes.
We see you go into like Lisa Barlow boss mode and want to launch a cybersecurity investigation, involve the police
Yeah.
in trying to come to figure out the truth of this.
Whitney's accusing me of doing something I did not do, so I want you to get the police involved because it's my character. I want you to get the police involved and go the distance on this. Get the LA police involved, everything, and Salt Lake police.
Where does that go? How much are we gonna follow?
I mean, the bottom line is if you're gonna accuse me of doing something that can be tracked with IP addresses and other things, or a simple phone call to the person that put out the news about you, like I'm gonna do it. I spent like $3,800.
3,800?
On that,
Did
yes.
you get information that exonerated you?
We didn't take it that far. I kept saying to Whitney, if you lie about me, I'm gonna tell the truth about myself, and she kept lying about me. So that's another reason I don't like her. I don't like Whitney.
That's obviously
She's a
so.
liar, yes. I just wanna make sure it's really clear for everyone, I don't like her, I think she's a liar. I can prove she's a liar. She's lied about me. This is a situation she's lied about me. She's lied about me in the past. She's lying about me currently. I don't like it.
In the calling of the security guy, you then go over to Justin and like, I don't know how you live with such a liar, and he fights back.
Justin, how do you do this? You have to deal with the lies and sift through the I would
She's
never,
not a liar.
ever. She is
Don't
a liar.
call my wife a liar.
She's a liar,
She's
Justin.
not a
He's a
liar.
liar.
Lisa. She's not a liar.
She's a liar. Stop.
Away from me.
Don't say the word to my wife.
Yeah, I'm gonna pound his ass.
You will have the police involved.
Did that surprise you?
Yeah, it surprised me. The fact that he stepped to me was weird. The fact that John put his hand up and he's like, get your hand off me, was weird. And John has never, no matter what they've lied about, no matter what they've done to our family, he has never stepped to anyone in my friend group. So that was shocking. I mean, Justin had to have heard worse.
A number of what I would call like hit pieces have come out attacking you and your businesses.
Yeah.
Do you know the origins of those? Are they retaliation from somebody?
No, I'm sure they're retaliation. I think it's hard to see like someone that you're friends with being extremely successful with all of her businesses. I've created brands, sold businesses, and I think it's intimidating for people. Like I am so proud of other women that are successful, and it's not just me that's successful, it's my husband too. So every time they come after me and say something disgusting about my business, like you're saying it about my husband too.
We are going to get what I imagine is going to be one of the most iconic lunch scenes in Housewives history, the Lisa lunch. where you and Whitney go toe to toe.
I have built everything I have
On the backs of other people.
You can get that wig off your head. You will never be me.
What inspired you to reach out and try to rip the wig off her head?
More lies. I mean, it's disgusting. The things that she says are consummate lies. I think she's very insecure and jealous of people that she perceives to be more successful than her. And, you know, I'm just done with it. Like, I left that lunch very upset, and I stayed upset until we left Mexico.
So you two stand nowhere right now. That begs the question of, was the friendship you all showed us season 2, season 3, was it ever real?
I was very much a friend to Whitney. I listened to her. It was a one-sided friendship.
It's interesting to hear you say all that because she presents it the exact opposite of it was a one-way friendship where she was only supporting you.
I mean, that's delusion. Like, I can prove what I'm saying. Like, how is she a friend to me? I proved I'm a friend to her. You need something, you're launching your brand, I'll donate a bar. I'll donate the bartenders, the mixers, the garnishes, the flowers, the cups, everything. I prove I'm a friend. I show I'm a friend, not just with my words, with my actions. I defended her. I forgave her. Forgiveness, giving someone grace means forgiving them after they've done something horrible to you. I gave her grace. She has done horrible things to me and my family and to my business. That's grace. Where have I ever got that from her? Just more lies.
All right, moving off of Whitney, but related
Good,
to
'cause
Whitney.
it's awful.
There's Angie, who is now besties with Whitney and with Mary. What do you make of that trio, and is it real or is it strategic?
I don't know if it's real or strategic. I think that where it's a problem is when I'm good friends with Angie and I vent off camera and I have conversations with her about my feelings off camera and then they're presented to other people. I don't do that to my friends. I've never done that to my friends. Even when Meredith and I were in the worst place ever, we did not cross boundaries and like relay confidences. We didn't share information. So I think that, you know, good luck.
You and I have conversations that are meant just for you and me.
Yeah,
Not
of
meant
course.
for everybody else.
Of
And
course.
you say things to
Yes.
me that I don't share with anybody else.
Yeah.
And
You were very upset with Angie repeating information to Whitney
Yep.
that you had shared with her
Yep.
in confidence. Heather hears information of her kind of venting in confidence about you. Heather brings that back essentially to you about your parenting. How are those different?
I think that's what makes it different is when you're having conversations and they're off camera. Angie even said on Watch What Happens Live, she prepped Whitney. I mean, I don't know if it was a slip, but she said it. She prepped Whitney.
Angie does take those digs at your parenting this season.
My daughter does need me. She needs a present mother. Like, I don't let her sit
No, I mean, we
and
each other
game
all
till
the
2 in the
time.
morning. So I can like leave the computer as a babysitter.
So she's very much like Whitney. So she's like Whitney, where she's calling me the majority of the time. I don't know. We had conversations this season where she's upset that I'm not being the one to initiate conversations. I feel like I was such a good person to her. I feel like I helped her all last year, like with everything. So it's funny that she's calling me the needy friend. Like, I'm a Sagittarius. Like, there's nothing needy about me.
Henry does jump to your defense when this comes up and he says, you're a great mom. So you have that.
You're a great mom.
thanks, Henry.
This is your first year where you don't have Jack at home while you were
horrible.
filming. How is he doing, and what's the update on his health situation?
You know, we were really worried when he first got to Columbia.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy.
Jack, we got your PET scan back and it looks amazing.
I've done every test that they can.
Jack's been having some health issues, so I'm going through a lot right now.
They thought it was something very, I'll like start to cry, bad. And they kept him like every single week. I am like gonna get emotional because it was hard, you know? I'll always cry about my kids, but they're my like everything, but it was really hard. So, you know, when people make jokes and say, oh, we had food poisoning, or like she gave him too much fast food, and that's why his stomach hurts, it's really cruel because they thought it was very, very serious.
Did they ever figure out what was the issue?
They have narrowed it down to some things and he is doing great. He came home for 3 weeks, he had treatment, and oh my gosh, now I'm gonna have crybaby face. But you know, it's hard as a mom to like be so far away. One of the caveats of him coming home was the mission president of his mission in Bogota had to do a Zoom with me and John and they had to commit that he could go back. Because a lot of missionaries that come home, they don't let them go back. So that was a huge thing for Jack to be able to go back. Why'd you have to make me cry?
Hi. Hey, good morning. What's going on? Oh my gosh, nothing.
I like that robe, it's so pretty.
Thank you.
You and Meredith are in kind of the 2.0 version of your friendship.
Yeah, I mean, she compared our friendship to her second marriage. So, I mean, I don't know if there's a higher compliment than that.
And she reveals that you two essentially made a pact.
Lisa and I agreed that we would, if anything was coming in between us, we would always talk about it.
How has that changed your friendship, and what does it mean that she's upholding it too?
I love it. I feel like now that we're in this place where we can be super honest with each other, I feel like it's like two friends acting like friends, and it feels really, really nice. But we were real friends before we started this journey. We were the only two that were super close prior to this new journey that we're on. So, you know, it's nice to be back there.
We see a moment in the trailer where she appears to warn you.
You shouldn't open up to anyone in this group.
Who was she most concerned about having information about you?
I mean, I think it's obvious. And I think she feels hurt by people doing that to her too.
She seems to suggest and confront Britani about secretly recording the group.
I don't want you around me. You record your friends. You are vile.
What would the motivation be behind secretly recording people in this group?
I mean, it's not like it hasn't been done before. But I think that would be really hurtful, especially after last year. I think for all of us to think that someone's videoing us when we don't know about it, or like when we're having a good time or venting or like fighting, you don't want that documented by your friends and sent to other people.
Meredith can go f herself. I'm done with her because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband.
Do you think she's fully forgiven you for the hot mic moment, or is there any part of you that fears it's going to boomerang back at some
I feel
point?
like it's 100% forgiven. I think we both did things that weren't nice to each other. I tried to have a private moment. I left the table for a reason. I would never want to hurt her, and I don't think she's half in New York.
There
or
we
a
go.
quarter, or even 1%, or less than one. No one.
We have a lot of fresh blood, not only Britani, we also have Maylee and Bronwyn. You were Bronwyn's connection to this group.
Yep.
Any regrets about bringing her into it?
I don't think I'll ever recommend anyone again.
You could have said, I'm Bronwyn's friend. Bronwyn's new to the group. Give her ass a chance.
I've recommended hundreds, and I think I'm gonna stop. There's a common denominator, and it's usually hating me, so we're done.
She gets upset with you and Heather for what she kind of uses or frames as hypocritical behavior.
You did put me on blast. I know you're saying you didn't mean to, but you did. And you came at me real hard and real strong. We need to get correct about a couple things about how we're gonna have a friendship.
Correct. I didn't do anything to Bronwyn. I defended her the best I could, knowing that she's my friend. The expectation people have on me to defend them is 180 from the expectation they have on themselves. And I feel like she wanted to like stick it to me and Heather, but I'm like, your issue is with Heather, but your issue should really be with yourself because you just got called out for what you did and said. But now you wanna like burn my little house down and like think there's like this huge like Grand Canyon size crevice between us.
It could be excused away as she's just getting her footing and figuring out what this all is about, but you're not gonna excuse it away.
No, but I think it's just a character thing. I think it's who she is and how she has relayed information in the past, and I think it's going to be a hard, way to go forward too, because like I think it's like how she talks, you know what I mean, and how she repeats things. So.
Well, on a nicer front with her, we get this kind of wild twist where it is revealed that you know the grandparents of her daughter's late father.
Yes.
And like, I met with yesterday, Gwen's grandmother. I told her exactly what happened in the airport, and I said, what are the chances? And she's like, it's time.
And it was like shocking. It was the craziest feeling. I'm glad that I could be there for her to help reconnect if that's what was right for the family. So it's crazy.
Yeah, not a story we've ever seen before on Housewives.
No, I mean, it's the last thing I expected. When she pulled out the picture, I'm like, wait, what's his name? And she said his name 3 times, and I'm like, I know him. And she looked at me like, there's no way you know him. And I'm like, yes, I know him. Close like know them well.
Wild.
Yeah.
I brought up Britney a second ago. I want to talk a little bit more about Britney. You're going to sip on Britney. Her relationship with Jared Osman is a tough watch.
Oh my gosh, it's so tough.
Jared, you are my best friends.
She sort of winds up attempting to blame you for one of the breakups when you were, to me, just trying to be like a really good friend.
A really good friend.
I just want to be in a good space with him where I can at least be friends, and what you did might have ruined it forever.
I have 4 sisters. All 4 of my sisters are divorced. I am like the best wing girl. I am the best text writer. And for me, I was looking at Britney like, how would I feel if this were my sister? Like, if my sister were going through this, I would be so upset. I would, you know, definitely not want them to be dating this person. You know, and I have beautiful sisters, so I'm like, they deal with a lot.
Britney has struggled to find her footing in this group. It's a lot of trial and error, more error than trial. Do you see her sticking around for a long time?
I like Britney. I think she's really funny. I think she's fun to be around. I think she has learned hard lessons really fast. And, you know, I'd like to see Britney stick around. I really like Britney.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Maylee too.
Okay, so is that your ranking of the newbies? Britney, Maylee, Bronwyn?
I feel like I have so much in common with Maylee. I think she's really witty, super smart, funny. I think Britney is really cool and fun to be around too. I don't know if I'd rank them all. I think they're all so different. They provide very different things.
Welcome! Do we look like a serious driver?
You do!
We've got a lot of season to watch, and rumor has it the season 5 finale is going to rival receipts, proof, screenshots.
It is.
How? Because that was so explosive. How do we top that?
What happens the final night in Mexico changed relationships in like the craziest way. It will definitely rival, totally different, but just as damaging and just as bad.
Who's most responsible for those changes?
I mean, you're just gonna have to wait and see, but like, I mean, you'll have to wait and see.
Is it unexpected or
It's unexpected,
So
really
who's
bad.
gonna have the most to answer to at reunion?
Whitney. Like in my opinion, Whitney. For me, Whitney.
Are you nervous about anything that's still
Nope.
to air? Nope.
Nope. I'm not nervous. I think it's frustrating that we're in this situation 5 years in, but you know, I don't know if I should be nervous, but I'm not.
It's kind of unprecedented for this many OGs to still be around.
It's crazy.
5 years in. Do you think everybody survives this season and goes on to season 6?
I mean, I have no say. I know people like to think I have say. I have no say. I have no idea. But I think when you have the same pattern and you do the same thing year over year, you either have to look at yourself or Bravo has to look at you.
And on that note,
Cheers.
cheers to season 5.
Cheers.